All right, though, we're going to start out today with the PU monthly report. If you can't tell, I'm very tired. I've been playing Diablo way too much and not doing my YouTube work. So I apologize if there aren't videos going up as often as you feel they should. It's because Diablo 4 is really really fun. So I've been enjoying that a lot. But we have apparently quite a juicy monthly report, is what I'm being told. I've seen there's a few people in my Discord that are absolutely obsessed with the Polaris. So that is the only update I've seen, is that there was an update to the Polaris. And somebody said that the mission feature team update is really interesting as well. So let's check it out. This is the May monthly report. And let's see if I can make this work for that. No. So we're going to go ahead and go to here. So we can make it nice and big, easy for me to read, and easy for you to read. Bang. All right, so we got AI Tech. Last month, AI Tech continued to improve the collision avoidance system to give better results when ground vehicles pass each other on NPCs. You know, this would all be great if NPCs actually moved. I mean, like, anyone ever go to a bunker? It's just so hard to read these because it seems like they're doing so much, and then we get so little. Like, I hate when they call this Star Citizen PU update, because when does this stuff ever come to the PU, right? For this case, designers could specify certain properties like maximum speed and all that stuff. Nice. Dynamic pathing. Again, I just scroll through these usually. NPCs entering and exiting ships from EVA. That'll be insane if that ever happens, right? In terms of like NPCs ever being in EVA, floating around, able to move around. Like, there's a chance where NPCs can get super scary if they worked, if all of this stuff is a thing, right? So I don't really see anything else that is too insane. You know, avoiding hazards, avoiding each other, speed limits, and NPCs potentially being able to use EVA at some point. I'll give an example of why I ignore these. 3-4 months ago, maybe longer, 6 months ago, they started talking about AI using railguns, which would be super ideal where Ghost Hollow, Security Post Korea, all sorts of places where ships kind of land or need to land. The other one, the one on Daymar, right? Whistler's Crypt. Like places like that, you would love to see AI with sniper rifles and railguns. That still hasn't come to fruition. And those are just guns, right? Those are just guns. And yeah, it's hard to read that specific section of the update because it just never really falls through, sadly. Character art, 2 outfits for the Dusters gang and the Headhunters. Those are pyro gangs, so not really much to go to with that. And then ship art. Content. Another unannounced ship? No way. Maybe Alien Week? Probably. And it's currently in gray box with both the interior and exterior progressing well. Yeah, that's... I don't know. Gray box, Alien Week seems too close. The team approached the end of their pass on vehicle tractor beams. That's good to hear. This included work on the Origin 315P, Drake Caterpillar, Colors Black, Nomad, and Mist Hull C. So those are the ships that are going to have them. I think the C2 is or C1 is supposed to have them as well. Good morning. Oh, this has the old alerts. Sorry. The team approached their end on vehicle tractor beams. All right, we got that one. C1 is almost gray box complete, while the A1 has its LOD 0 review scheduled. Okay. MISC Freelancer's component rework progressed through the final art stage with LODs mostly finished and some polished tasks outstanding. It's due to finish final art this month. Last month, the team began preparing the RSI Polaris for white box. Okay, so we'll see. Preparing a ship for white box doesn't mean making it necessarily. Because this is a sizable capital ship, we We have been breaking the vehicle down and planning a resource pack so that an interior can be constructed out of reusable elements. We also spend time reviewing the concept to highlight any areas that would need additional design time due to new gold standard requirements. New gold standard requirements, maybe resource management, probably like some resource management nodes. You got to have the components able to be removed, things like that. In the US, Tumbril Storm approached, or I guess since the concept, what gold standard is has changed quite a bit. In the US, Tumbril Storm approached the end of Lot 0. Okay. With the team applying materials, palms. I mean, we saw the sneak peek there, so nothing too crazy. We know the Tumbril Storm. Greybox on the end. Apoa Santokia is mostly complete with only dashboard work remaining. Okay. So maybe that unannounced vehicle could potentially be an Alien Week ship still, if the Santokia is still in Greybox currently. The other one could be another alien ship. We've been generating a new set of textures to be used for labeling and dashboard buttons, as well as creating a new damage map to show through the gaps in the armor, which will be unique to Apoa. We will also be creating a new palm sheet, which will also be unique to Apoa. Okay. And then community, we went to bars, I would imagine. Community usually doesn't have too much. And nothing on CitizenCon there. Everyone T-posing at one of the events. No, classic. There's a concierge guy. Watch out for him. He's got an 890 jump. Engine stuff I usually skip. But this one is relevant here. Engine team adds specific cleanup rules for certain areas. They still need to work on that. There's some places that could get cleaned up, I think, more regularly once ships are hard deathed. Hard death ships are just literal trash, right? So you can't really interact with them. There's not much you can do with them. So they're just kind of getting in the way. And I don't know how you guys feel. That's what I would ask for you to comment on. It is a cool experience to go down to a location and be like, what happened here, right? It was chaos here at one point. What happened? But it also sometimes makes it low frame rate and hard to play because there's just so much stuff happening. Yeah, specifically right outside hangars would be a good one, right? Because they're having a lot of issues with that at places like Grimhex. Team also progressed with their work on Star Build, adding the remaining Linux support. Star Build is now on feature parity with the old cold system. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Star Build is. Let me know. Oh, look, guys, cloth simulation. We're back to bedsheet physics. Arena Commander features. All right, so this is probably a lot of the stuff that we already know and that we will hear today on Inside Star Citizen, so we'll see. Work also continued on a full refactor of the spawning module. Initial work was completed on the new game rule difficulty module. Game rule difficulty. I was handed off to the Squadron 42 team for expansion, as it will initially be used to allow them to set varying parameters based on the selected difficulty mode. Oh, that's kind of cool. Difficulty modes for the PvE modes. A refactor was also done on how loading screens are utilized. The team are currently experimenting with having separate game mode loading screens that update to show the map once the response from the server confirms where the client is heading. Okay. A rework of team balancing and competitive scoring also began last month with will enable groups of players to stay together, more consistently balanced teams based on leaderboard stats, and enable a new mechanic allowing players to volunteer to switch teams if an imbalance is detected during a match. Okay, and that's kind of interesting. The team are currently experimenting with various adjustments, including awarding higher scores based on the KD rankings of opponents and awarding lower scores for killing the same player repeatedly. We already know that. So yeah, I'm looking for anything that isn't something that we know already. And I'm not. Customize FPS loadouts from within matches. And select FPS and vehicle loadouts on the fly. Okay. They've been converting the Theaters of War spawn screen to most other game modes. Can we have it in the Theaters of More game mode, DJ? Oh, here's the one. I actually did see somebody mention this in Discord the other day. Yesterday. Finally, engineering began experimenting with increasing max server FPS, decreasing the actor delay buffer, and increasing packet rate in an effort to reduce latency and desync in Star Marine. Can we do this in the PU? That would be cool. Okay, so yeah, that's Arena Commander stuff. Those are the little things that we didn't remember or didn't see yet. Maybe we'll see on ISC today. Features, character and weapons. Ammo repooling, which allows players to redistribute the ammunition stored in their suit and inventory to maximize the number of full magazines. Okay, once completed, will make it less likely a player is left with a large number of magazines containing a few bullets each, as it will prioritize filling up the magazine in the weapon first. Whoa. I love to hear that. That's a Band-Aid, though. I thought they don't do that. I thought they don't do Band-Aids, guys. That's a Band-Aid. Because they were supposed to have weapon stripping or ammo stripping where you click, 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 or you put it in, right? So now you could just like put a 5-round mag with a 10-round mag, and now it turns into a 15-round mag. That's kind of what it sounds like. Team also explored a new negative actor status triggered by radiation. Here we go. Radiation can be generated from a point emitter, which has a bigger impact on characters the closer they are to the source, or it can be ambient within a room. Irradiated water was also explored, which affects the actor based on how submerged they are. When a character is affected by radiation, the protection of their outfit will start to decay. Once protection is gone, the actor will suffer radiation sickness and will need to seek medical advice to recover. The outfit will regenerate its protective layer over time. I would love to see this happen to ships as well, going into, dangerous places. Yeah, there's radiation areas. I believe, is there radiation areas or is it like toxic areas in Hurston? That's kind of crazy. I heard it's a laser that refills the mag. Yes, guys, we have beam gameplay for your reloading magazines. Gameplay features. Montreal PU team focused on proof of concept investigations for the entity removal destruction trash bin feature. Okay. That's kind of cool. The feature's test-driven development will be based on these investigation results and proof of concept findings, the latter of which will be completed, which was completed last month. That's kind of cool. Team also supported the Vehicle Died event, which is used by Soft Death and Vehicle Destruction, and made quality of life bug fixes for Alpha 3.9.1, staging content, and game dev, plus an issue with the RSI Constellation Series Copilot seat UI not connecting properly to the IFCS was fixed. Yeah, not seeing anything there. Mission feature team. So this is the stuff people said to check out. Continue work on ship escort, data heist, consignment retrieval missions, which we're all familiar with through monthly reports, previous monthly reports. Finch touched on a new unlawful salvage mission where a ship must be stripped of an incriminating paint job before law enforcement arrives. Another exciting development is that we're exploring a new lightweight PvP PvE event set aboard a modified version of the Siege of Orison barge, in which players must figure out how to open shipping containers in order to steal the items within, all while Ninetales outlaws hold down the location for themselves. So it's a co-op PvE, but then there's PvP involved? Okay. For Alpha, I guess whoever gets out with the items is good. For Alpha 3.19.1, the team rebalanced cargo generation within ships across various mission types, including salvage. This is the stuff Elliot said he did on Reddit and here throughout the last week. And this removed unsellable commodities and ensuring the profit fits the risk involved. So in case anyone's listening out there that is only playing on live and hasn't seen this stuff, if you have unsellable commodities in your inventory on live, they are aware, they fixed it. Don't try to go and sell them. Most of them are minerals or all these weird name commodities you've never seen before. Mission features actively worked on refactoring old missions into the current modular library, including missing person. Alongside this, they refactored how the destroyed drugs missions work and made parts of them modular. For example, the previous version spawned hundreds of individual boxes, but with the help of the new code, they can now simply spawn pallets that come with drug box loadouts. Alongside significantly improved performance and reliability, this method allows the team to control the number of pallets spawned for different mission difficulties. That mission sucks right now. So hearing that get fixed means you can actually do it. That is a never take mission at the current moment. So the fact that they're working on that is probably a good thing. I also don't think that mission is very fun. It's very tedious. And I think what was really special about that mission prior was when you took that mission, there was always it was a counter mission. It was one of the first counter missions we had, was you go down to destroy the boxes and somebody else is going to steal them. And that's kind of the, or there to kill you before you destroy them. And I don't know if that's really what happens anymore. Mission features ongoing work on Bounty Hunter V2 progress well too. The designers are currently working with systemic services and tools to develop systems required to have virtual NPC bounties traveling around the system. One of the engineers will help from the Interactables team is also developing a method for pods to attach to points in the world so they can seamlessly enter and exit the game space. Ooh. Finally, the designers supported to make this launch week. Okay, who cares? Graphics, VFX, programming, and tech. Usually kind of skip this stuff as well. Quantum obstacle generation with generic shapes and asteroid fields. A collision issue detector where dirt paint modifiers were also added to Rastar. Biome builder. I don't see anything there. In-game branding. Working on interior and exterior signage for Ruin Station and supported EU locations. Lighting team worked on Adventures Launch Week, Ruin Station. Live tools. Usability of Network Operations Center are now starting to collect the results, as well as establish action to highlight improvement that needs priorities in the future. Nothing on like server meshing or anything there. Locations, Pyro, racetracks, Sandbox, Pyro. Montreal-based team on the new underground facilities. We had an update, and then no, kind of sucked. And then Organics team created a new fauna for Pyro. Currently working on that. We also have some very cool content we're working on alongside this, and share more later. Narrative. Sometimes there's good. Areas of influence of the system's various factions, as well as defining which groups are allies and rivals for Pyro. All right, this is kind of a big one. During a recent motion capture session, the team recorded the first air traffic control system for cargo and will be looking to review and refine the wider experience in future months. The team also began polishing and implementing a new tourist behavior that will debut in an upcoming patch. Cargo decks, please? That's what that sounds like. And then something about a Xeno language, which some of you guys care about. I don't particularly do. Online services. ASOP terminal stuff they fixed. Optimizing PES. Still need to do that, I think. R&D. Temporal render mode for atmospheric volumetric clouds. Planetary terrain. Height map generation was optimized to eliminate frame rate hitches that were reported by players. I still get them. Systemic services and tools. Bounty hunting V2. R&D for bounty contract missions. Bounty marker prototype. NPC tracker service. Additionally, new Sharp service. Okay, so a lot of Bounty Hunter V2 is going on. Team continued on Quantum and Odom. Making progress on the data-driven economy. Quanta State, Quanta Life, Battle Matrix. That is the first time we've heard Quanta in a long time, guys. A long, long time. Finally, SST continued on support for recent live release. UI, bounty hunting. Everyone's head down on bounty hunting. Seems like a big sprint for everybody. Interior minimap. This is initially for Squadron 42. So why is it here? Why are you writing this here? Let me know. Let me know when you're working on putting it in the PU. I don't want to see this here. That shit drives me nuts, dude. I don't want to see this stuff here. Because guess what? It's not for the PU. If you're working on it for the PU, put it in there. If you're working on it for Squadron 42, don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me, dude. Yeah, you're just filling here. VFX last month revisited several old particle libraries. For example, erosion. That's interesting. Several new derelicts and modular kits for various pyro locations. Okay. Well, that's the monthly report highlights. Arena Commander, FPS stuff, server frame rate. Mission feature team, lots of bounty hunting stuff. New alien ship, possibly. Yeah, let me know what some of your highlights are, but those are mine, I would say. Maybe I missed something. A mention of quantum is a thing, but yeah, interesting. Monthly report, let's go. I think this is where everything, from this point forward, though, this is where everything should die down a little bit because we're going to be starting the CitizenCon push soon. So my expectations is to hear a lot less in these, hear a lot more unannounced stuff, unannounced gameplay, unannounced this, unannounced that. So prepare for it to be a little bit less open over the next few months, moving into October, November. And yeah, we should hear a little bit more about CitizenCon soon. I was expecting to maybe see it in the community update here, but yeah,